Have you ever looked closely at a honeycomb? It is an absolute masterpiece of engineering. Hundreds of identical, perfectly shaped wax hexagons locked together without a single gap. For thousands of years, scientists, philosophers, and mathematicians were completely baffled by this. How could a tiny insect with a brain the size of a sesame seed understand advanced geometry? Did nature give them tiny rulers and protractors? Welcome to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Today, we are unraveling one of the greatest architectural mysteries of the natural world: how bees actually build the honeycomb.
Let's start with the building blocks. If you want to build a house, you need bricks. If you're a bee, you need wax. But bees don't collect wax from flowers, they manufacture it themselves. Inside the hive, young worker bees act as living biological factories. After gorging themselves on nectar, they need to consume about 8 pounds of honey just to produce 1 single pound of wax. Something remarkable happens. On the underside of the bee's abdomen are 8 special wax-producing organs called wax glands. These glands begin secreting tiny, transparent flakes of beeswax, each one no bigger than a grain of salt. But fresh beeswax is brittle and difficult to shape, so the bee scrapes the wax scale off with her legs, passes it to her mouth, and chews it carefully. By mixing the wax with saliva and warming it with her body heat, the material becomes soft, flexible, and ready for construction. Together, thousands of worker bees carefully sculpt the growing honeycomb. Now we get to the design. Why a hexagon? Why not circles, squares, or triangles? At first, circles might seem perfect. After all, circles can hold a lot of honey. But when you pack circles together, empty gaps appear between them. Those wasted spaces would force bees to use extra wax to fill the holes. Squares and triangles solve the gap problem because they fit together perfectly. But there is another issue: perimeter. Compared to hexagons, squares and triangles need more total wall length to divide the same amount of space. More wall length means more wax, more energy, and more work for the hive. Then comes the hexagon. A hexagon fits together perfectly with no wasted gaps, while also using less wall material than triangles or squares. It stores the maximum amount of honey using the minimum amount of wax. In 1999, mathematician Thomas Hales finally proved this mathematically in a famous theorem known as the Honeycomb Conjecture, a problem that had puzzled humans for over 2,000 years. Even Charles Darwin was amazed by the design, calling the honeycomb a structure absolutely perfect in economizing labor and wax. But here is where our story takes a massive twist. Prepare to be surprised, because bees do not actually build hexagons. Wait, what? It's true. In 2013, scientists studying unfinished honeycombs discovered something shocking. Instead of neatly constructing hexagons from the beginning, the bees were first building rough, circular tubes of wax. So, how do messy circles transform into perfect geometric hexagons? The answer isn't advanced mathematics, it's physics. Inside a crowded hive, thousands of bees vibrate their flight muscles to generate heat, keeping the hive at around 45 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the wax softens and begins to flow almost like a thick liquid. Then, surface tension takes over. The same physical forces that shape soap bubbles begin reshaping the softened wax. As the circular cells press against one another, their walls naturally flatten where they meet. Slowly, the circles transform into stable, 6-sided structures. The bees build the rough blueprint. Physics perfects the design. What looks like careful architectural planning is actually the result of heat, pressure, and surface tension working together inside the hive. So, the next time you see a honeycomb, you are not just looking at wax built by insects, you're looking at an extraordinary collaboration between biology, geometry, thermodynamics, and physics.
The bees provide the raw materials, the labor, and the heat. The laws of physics shape the final masterpiece. It's simple, efficient, and entirely surprising. If you loved uncovering this hidden piece of natural history, please hit that like button, share this video with a curious friend, and subscribe to Simple Things Surprising Histories for more incredible stories hiding right in front of us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.